It is PS5 today. We're going to be fixing PS5, and the first lead need to be taken out, and we have to take out all the screws that hold down the fan, and after that we have to take the screws that hold down the plastic holding down the motherboard, and so on and so forth. That plastic has been taken out. The next thing is the CD drive. The CD drive has been taken out, and now we have to take all the silver screws holding down the motherboard and the aluminum plate. So that is what I'm doing right now, and after taking all those down, we now take out the aluminum, and next is to take out the screws and the plate holding down the processor. Now this is the stage of micro soldering to do the repair for the HDMI. I'll be using a microscope to check, because this HDMI does not have a physical damage from the front and everything looks good, but it's not working. So now I am examining and trying to inspect the HDMI port and see what is happening at the back of the HDMI. So now I think I found out that something is happening. So I tried to find a pin, and I'm trying to push the legs one after the other to see if any of those legs is gonna be shaky or not stable properly. Now I'm still checking all from the right. Now I'm gonna go from the left too. So let's see what's gonna happen. Trying still to examine all this. It's gonna take a while. You just have to be patient and make sure you push out those legs one after the other, and make sure that their statics are not wobbling or wiggling. So that is what I'm doing now, and I switch the needle to my left hand side to be able to push all those legs and see if they're going to be moving. Now I found out that some of those legs are moving, and now I don't need to do a full replacement for this HDMI. All I have to just do is resolder. I have to resolder the HDMI port. In many cases, some repair shop will just try to replace it, but this is a factory HDMI port. It looks good, it looks perfect. All I have to do is just to resolder it properly and make sure everything is tight. Yeah. Now I grabbed my rework station. You can see it's already on, and now I'm going to apply this rework station under the HDMI. I'm not going to go above, I'll go below it, because going above sometimes may melt the plastic, and the plastic we don't need to solder from the top, because right now it's just some of the pin. So that is what I'm doing right now. I'm making sure that the HDMI port is resoldered properly. I need to grab something to use it to push it down, push it to the left and right, wiggle it, and make sure that all the legs were resoldered properly. And that is what I'm doing right now. Many times or sometimes you don't have to replace the full HDMI port just because they came in for HDMI reply. You have to do a full inspection and see if there is a missing component, if there is a missing legs, or that's when you're gonna. In this case, I am not doing a full HDMI reply. I'm only doing let me say resolder. It's the same HDMI port that I'm still using. So I try to push it to the left, to the right, and press it down so that I can achieve what I really need by making sure that all the pins of the HDMI is resoldered properly on the motherboard. Doing this takes a little while. Take a patience and a focus, steady hand, so that by doing that you don't mess up other things. So after that, I will now proceed in checking those pins with my long pin or any other tools to push all those pins and see if they are static or they are still wiggling. So let's see. After that, you see I just finished resoldering it, and I'm gonna proceed to checking this board with the microscope again button and with the pin to push the pin on the motherboard, the HDMI pin on the motherboard. So let's check this. I'm pushing it one after the other. I know this is just a video, not so details to show you all those legs, because I am not transmitting my microscope to TV or monitor. So it's just the kind of video that shows how we fix or we does this type of repair. So this is what I'm doing now. I figure out that everything is okay, and the next thing is to go and assemble this console. Sometimes we do more and sometimes we do less. In this case, I am doing less job than replacing the old HDMI, and it's still the same price, the same thing, the same process, because I have to do the same assemble and disassemble. So now it's time to put back all the console. The first thing that goes is the motherboard, and after the motherboard, the plate and the plastic holding down the processor to the motherboard. It has the 2 screws, and we have to put those screws and screw it down. One the left, one the right. While you're screwing this screw, make sure you go from the left to the right. Don't just go one side, because you have to maintain the balance of these screws from the left and the right. So when you crank this side like 5, you go to the other side, you crank like 5 for the 2 sides to be stable. So the next thing is to clip all the flex. The flex I'm clipping right now is the one connected to the LED light that always turn on blue and white while you play your game. And you see, I try to crank the screws one more time, and the next flex I'm clipping over there is the one that is connected to the USB port and the power. And after that, I'm putting the silver aluminum plate on top of the motherboard, and I will now proceed getting the screws, the aluminum screws, the silver screws, and I'm gonna, this has like a 31 or 32 screws around this plate. So I'm gonna be doing that by applying all these screws. The repair of HDMI ports is not that hard, but the disassemble to get to this HDMI port is what really makes a lot of people, especially inexperienced people, to do it by themselves. But with a lot of patience and dedication, you can get to this point. So after putting all these screws to this PS5, I'm gonna try to put the CD-ROM, and after putting the CD-ROM, I put the black plastic, and now I screws everything. The next thing is the fan. I have to just wipe out the fan, dust it a little bit, and put all the screws and close it, clean it and close it. Now it's time for the moment to test it. Now I'm testing this PS5 connects to the TV, and you can see PS5 logo and everything has shown, and this shows that this job is positive. This job has been done, and we can call our customer to pick this up. This is some kind of easy PC today because it does not take a lot. Thanks you. Bye bye.